Yet again, hi brilliant spirits, welcome back to my channel. In the event that you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you, and remember to like and buy into my channel and like my video for more content later on. The subject of this video will be the conversation of the toxicity of the so-called spiritual modalities and how individuals these days in the general spiritual communities are ceaselessly captivating in these sorts of stuff. So could we make a plunge into this video? In our modern spiritual communities, individuals are fixated on specific psychological modalities, for example, healing, missions, astrology, clearing energies, tarot, and a lot more to basically get an objective from those things. Some individuals even make those modalities into a way of living to everyday life. Yet, in this video, I will expose all kinds of spiritual modalities that are all keeping individuals trapped to them, and I will likewise address solutions on the most proficient method to quit participating in those modalities so you can carry on with your life peacefully and calmly. When I refer to spiritual modalities, I'm specifically referring to those kinds of mental exercises that individuals connect with to get an objective explicitly. In the New Age spirituality, they mistake true spirituality with psychological modalities, and they call those psychological modalities spirituality. However, from a genuine perspective, it's not. True spirituality is the general atmosphere where we discuss non-duality, by which we are being directed to know or realize the true self, and the true self is non-duality by nature. This is the main truth that humankind needs to be aware to change our planet. In different Zen traditions, they emphasize that we are not this duality-based mind or this actual physical body, inferring that our true sense of self is derived from non-duality or consciousness, not from this mind-based character. Further, they have said that humanity in general have believed that they are their minds or this false sense of self called ego personality, and humanity derive their very sense of self from thought structures and emotional patterns which they trust it's oneself. Returning to the part of spirituality. True spirituality is the realization of the true self, which is beyond ideas, concepts, thoughts, structures, or forms, and it cannot be understood by your mind. You just experience oneself as the consciousness or awareness. Different terms are being, presence, or Zen. It's an experience where you feel one with everything around you, and it isn't thought or emotional. It's deeper than the conditioned individual with its limitations. That is true spirituality, non-duality itself. Spirituality is not all of those psychological modalities where individuals talk about healing, astrology, Reiki, missions, tarot, and more. That is not spirituality. We can say those modalities are all mind stuff, or in simple terms, metaphysical. Metaphysical is the collaboration between the mind and this actual world. Nowadays, individuals are continuously engaging in those kinds of modalities, since they trust that it's the way of living or surviving. Spiritual modalities for certain individuals has turned into an identity, where they believe it's the antidote to their lives, yet from a genuine perspective, those things can be toxic and destructive, and you can't in any moment allow yourself to simply exist. Rather than using those modalities for their planned reason, individuals currently get very dependent on those modalities to look for salvation from them. I'm not saying spiritual modalities are bad. I'm attempting to let you know that those modalities have their intended purpose, not for individuals to fixate on them. In the following section, I will expose every one of those spiritual modalities, and I will address solutions on the best way to liberate yourself from this toxicity and carry on with your life of harmony and concordance. Here are the accompanying modalities. 1. Fixing and healing inner childhood wounds or past traumas. We realize that everybody have past traumas and inner childhood wounds to deal with, yet when it comes healing those things through the mind, that is certainly not a successful method for managing traumas. Certain individuals in the New Age spirituality even need to pay a few healers to assist them with healing their past traumas or inner wounds. Also, beautiful people, the one who is attempting to heal those traumas, it's really the actual mind, not the true self. The mind ordinarily is duality by nature, and it needs specific outcomes, and that is how it functions, and we can't fault it for that. In any case, assuming that you are attempting to heal your past or your traumas, you will be trapped in the pattern of healing again and again, which appear not to end, and in the end nothing will change. Think about this as a mouse wheel. Trying to repair the contents of your mind won't ever change how it works. The mind goes up, it goes down, that's the way it functions. Instead, quit living through the mind. To heal your past or traumas, it's very simple, nothing to be healed. And for what reason am I saying that? Because you are not your mind in the first place. Individuals are deeply identified to this mind character which is running their lives and making chaos. The purpose behind healing is to realize that you have already healed, and that is the true self, which is pure consciousness or awareness itself. You are not broken, you simply have a case of mistaken identity. No healing is necessary on the grounds that the one who is attempting to heal accepts that is broken and it needs healing, and everything I'm attempting to say to you is, you don't have to fix the mind, you simply have to stop believing that you are your mind. You are this present moment which beyond past and future. In Zen spiritualism, when you let go the identification with the mind, you remember who you truly are in your essence by transcending the ego. The true self doesn't have anything to do with the distinct individual with its limits, that is non-duality, and that's what you are. It's simple, people, remember who you really are, you are not your mind. 2. Taking part in so-called spiritual missions and soul contracts to save the world. It has likewise been said in the overall spiritual communities, that individuals are on a special missions to save the planet. The so-called spiritual missions and soul contracts are part of the belief systems made by some sort of a religion to fundamentally get an objective of some sort or another, and nobody has really demonstrated that we are here to set out on a mission of some sort. I will say this again, such frameworks like missions and soul contracts came from the ego constructs to satisfy its needs, and at this point you ought to have an idea that the ego is duality naturally. In an ancient spiritualism they say ego is able on clinging to specific outcomes, or at the end of the day the ego is rooted in separation consciousness. The real purpose why we are here is with the goal that we can remember who we really are in our essence. We are not here to carry a particular mission, we are here to just exist, and the true existence is non-duality, consciousness itself. We can say the purpose of life is done. If you believe that you are here to set out on a mission, you are still identified with duality-based mind which operates as thought structures, rules and forms. You won't ever know the true purpose of life if you are as yet still identified to your ego personality. Individuals are desensitized to just exist, and the desensitization is being brought by our social, strict beliefs frameworks, and those beliefs frameworks are keeping individuals to no ultimate reality. Stop accepting that you are here on a mission and begin embracing true spiritualism, and true spiritualism is not a belief system. However, the true essence of the true self is past mental principles, and it is inseparable from the things around you. Your actual mission isn't from the ego, yet is recognition of the true self, which is non-duality or unadulterated consciousness itself. That's the true mission. 3. Indigo children, star seeds, earth angels, and other names that people identify with. Another thing that individuals in the general spiritual communities do is, they call themselves names like indigo child, star seeds, and different names. They call themselves such names with the purpose that they are special in some way, and people, let me tell you, according to a genuine viewpoint, there is no such thing as an indigo child or star seed. Those names are part of the ego identity that individuals cling to. By nature, you are an eternal light of being, existing in this present moment, and it doesn't have anything to do with any structures, names or forms. We can say, you are the formless essence which is past names and ideas, and it exists beyond the duality-based ego, meaning your sense of identity is derived from that formless essence, which is the genuine self. Part of individuals derive their very sense of identity from this mental self-image which they acknowledge it's oneself. The supposed indigo child or starseed identity is part of the mental self-view, and it is derived from thought structures made by the mind to achieve a specific goal, since that is the way the mind works. We have been conditioned to believe that we are our minds that are the justification for why we have these sorts of modalities in first place. Life doesn't have rules and designs, we as humans are making this up. Life itself is simply as at this moment, and it isn't attached to any beliefs, frameworks, or systems, and that is our real essence. 4. Clearing energies, karma and chakras, and other modalities like Reiki and astrology. Personally, I'm not saying individuals shouldn't utilize Reiki or astrology, yet those things are intended for their expected reason, not really for individuals to look for salvation from them. To live a life of harmony and opportunity, you need to embrace true spiritualism, and true spiritualism is where you let go of the attachments to the outside things to fulfill you. Attempting to clear karma or chakras is really the mind attempting to accomplish an objective out of those things, on the grounds that the mind accepts it needs outcomes for it to be satisfied. 5. Tarot and shadow work. It has been said in the spiritual community that shadow work is to reveal the parts of you that are repressed so they can be healed. Lovely people, as I have said before, the mind is duality ordinarily. It operates as good and bad. That is its function in this world. You can't change that reality. Trying to fix the mind, it's simply a trick to keep you stuck in a hamster wheel of suffering. The one who is attempting to heal or fix the mind is really not the true you, it's the mind attempting to fix itself. The mind is so tricky to where it makes you believe that you are it. You don't have to fix the mind, you really want to stop believing that you are your mind. It's not a matter of how broken you are, it's a matter of realizing that you were never broken in the first place, and that's the consciousness or awareness itself. You are as of now whole and complete in your essence. The true self doesn't require healing or to be fixed, it is perfect, and that is who you really are, and you should realize that. You are free. Coming to the idea of tarot, individuals are fixated on tarot readings. We as a whole realize that tarot readings are fun and enjoying, but the issue comes in when you look for salvation from them. Certain individuals even use tarot to look for answers from their lives, and they can in any event briefly relax until their questions are answered. Lovely people, that is toxic. As I have emphasized before, the mind is duality, and it is fit for looking for expectations and assumptions to things, and it feels incomplete if it does not get its needs met. And who you really are isn't attached to any expectations, since you are free and whole this moment. You don't need answers to your life, you are the answer yourself, and you simply have to recognize that. You don't require tarot readings for answers, every one of the answers are found within. In conclusion, the spiritual modalities that individuals are all continually captivating are essentially keeping them to carry on with their lives unreservedly, in light of the fact that they accept that those things will bring salvation or satisfaction. Those modalities can turn to be toxic sooner or later in light of the fact that they limit individuals to find their real essence of life. On the off chance that you can look carefully, a portion of those modalities are based on primary belief frameworks brought by religions and societies to destroy our planet essentially. Individuals are desensitized to just exist. We can't be free briefly when our planet is loaded with those restricting modalities. Not just that, they have additionally mistaken true spirituality for those psychological modalities, and true spiritualism isn't healing or any sort mental modalities, yet the recognition of one real essence, which is non-duality or Zen. If you have any desire to carry on with your life of peace and concordance, you need to embrace true spiritualism. Then, at that point, those modalities ought to be a byproduct or optional. Your true foundation should be non-duality, it must be your primary mode of living, and your mental modalities will turn out better for you. That is all there is to it, folks, and remember to visit the connections in the portrayal underneath for more data. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Your support means everything to me, and I'm grateful for every view, like, and comment. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave them down in the comments. Thanks again for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.